Hey there, welcome to day 64 playing chess every day until I reach 1500 elo. Currently we're at 1192 after a loss yesterday, and let's go ahead and just jump into a 15-minute rapid game here. Okay, we're up against an 1109. We've mostly been getting kind of some higher rated players lately, which I have enjoyed, getting more challenging players. This guy is a little bit on the lower rating compared to what we've been getting. But I've also been destroyed occasionally by someone who was like 100 points lower, so. Yeah, let's just go ahead and start with the normal moves. I am really tired right now, so hopefully that doesn't make me blunder. I'll try not to. C4 or C3. Normally C3 is the way to go. Let's do knight F3 first. And okay, he's taking a little while to play this move. One thing that I noticed is that he already did close in his light square bishop for now. Okay, so for this we're gonna just drop back. And if he takes, we open up the file with our rook here, which he does do. And I want to get my bishop to d3, put some pressure on this pawn, maybe get our knight here to e5. If he comes here and then we trade, oh, interesting. He goes ahead and castles already, which means, yeah, if we can get rid of the knight, we can probably put a good amount of pressure right over here. So let's start with, should I start with other development, like getting this here? Trying to think of how I want to do it, because if I go bishop out right away, he plays here. I guess I could start pushing this pawn. It's not supported here, so I'd have to play knight e5 first. Okay, let's just start with this. I think he'll push the pawn. I mean, right now it's twice defended, so he doesn't have an urgency to play this, but I think I will be able to. Yeah, he's not defending it yet. I think if I go here, he takes, we kick the knight. So yeah, if he takes, we take back with the pawn. His knight needs to move. He can't go here. He can't go to. Oh, no, he can come in here to what is this, e4? But if he comes to e4, I think I would probably kick him with this pawn. Okay, let's see where he goes. Yeah, I think e4. We potentially could just trade it off and then swing the queen over here. Put some pressure. And then try to like throw the pawns at it once he pushes that. Alright, take there. So now we're threatening, obviously threatening the knight and threatening to win the pawn at the same time. So he blocks. And then, yeah, if I push this, he could take here. He takes there, I take with check, he comes over. Then we have a discovered attack, but I don't think we can really use it on anything. Because there's nothing that would be attackable with the bishop here. So it would just be pawn here over, and then actually when I come back, then he would be able to take the rook. So maybe I would take with the rook first. And then try to bring the queen over. Otherwise, I just take, if he takes back, I don't really want to trade the queen, because I would like to create an attack over here. I could also just play this immediately. I feel like that seems like pretty strong. To just immediately go ahead and play this mate threat. So if I play here, he will push the pawn. Then I'll start trying to walk this pawn up to attack. And we'll see what he can do then. He could bring his queen here and try to trade the queens. Maybe would be good for him. I could also go here first, threaten to... Yeah, actually I kind of like that, because then I protect the pawn and I threaten to maybe kick him out further. And we're also pinning this pawn, which could become useful. So let's try that first. Although he could immediately come with the queen again. But if he does that, take, then I can still win this pawn. By taking with the bishop with check, he comes over, and then we still get that discovered attack again, but I don't think I can win anything with it. So I think he's given me a pretty good avenue to attack over here. And it was because he took the bishop earlier on g3, and that opened up our rook. But I just have to make sure to actually follow up properly here and make sure we can get something out of the attack. Let's see what he goes for. His bishop can't really do much. His rooks can't really do much in terms of defending over here. Maybe it was... Oh, he pushes that pawn. Okay, should I just go here now? Oh yeah, the queen can't come here because then... Actually, should I have just done that before? Gone here. Yeah, because he can't trade because then it's just mate. So I think I was assuming that he would be able to trade it, but he can't. So I might have misplayed that by not going out all the way first. I can go here now. He'll push the pawn. Now it's a little harder to attack here, actually. Okay, I think I'll just go here anyway. He is creating some weaknesses in his position either way. Let's try here. Can't really develop my knight. I mean, I can, but he'll potentially take here. The bishop is now pretty ineffective after he pushed these pawns, so I might actually just trade for the knight instead of trying to kick the knight. Or I could try to play here first. Take. And see what he does. I think he'll probably push the pawn here. Because if he doesn't, then I'll take. Then he's going to have to come here. Then I can get more checks and stuff. I take the knight at any point, I think he'll take back this way and open his rook up. But I might still want to do it, because he doesn't have anything else to assist the rook in attacking. Let's see if he pushes the pawn, or I don't know what else he would really do, but he is taking a while. No, he does go ahead and push the pawn. And yeah, I would like to castle and get my other rook involved, but I would have to move the knight first. Don't want to develop the knight here, but if I go here, I could go here and just trade this. If he wants to trade it, I could trade it and just move my king up. Instantly connect the rooks. And then also, if we push the pawn, maybe we could reopen this line for the bishop here, which could be useful. Also go here. We immediately cut off all the squares for the king. Okay, let's go for this first. Let's just develop the knight. And we'll take back with the king, if he takes it. Also, I should probably play f4 at some point to support this pawn. But I don't want to play it until the knight's gone, because I don't want to hang the pawn here on g3. So yeah, one way or another, I think we'll get rid of the knight. Whether it's from just taking here, or if he takes, or if we push the pawn and kick him. At some point. I think just taking. Either we take him, or he takes us. And then trying to castle queenside. Do I want to try to stack both the rooks on the h-file? Because if I do that, but the pawn is pushed here, I guess I can go here to pin this pawn. And then I am threatening to take, which I guess I could have already done that right now. What would he do to respond to that? Maybe queen here. Try to get the queen trade. Okay, he's moving his bishop to get his rooks out. But yeah, I could do this, threaten to take the pawn. If this pawn goes, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. But he does have the option to bring the bishop there now. Try to get rid of the queen. Let's probably go ahead and take the knight first. Yep. Opens that up, so now let's go down here. And then maybe I'll swing this rook up, actually. So that the rook is the one pinning, and the queen is the one threatening to take. But now that this pawn is gone, actually, I have the option of going down to here to pin as well. So here, threatening this. Queen can't try to trade. Rook can't threaten us. Bishop can't threaten us. Actually, the queen can come here to try to trade. Take, take. We double his pawns. Okay. Not exactly sure what his plan for that move is. I guess he opens up this check here. If he gives that check, I think I'd block with the pawn. Check. Blocked. Does he have any other dangerous squares he can get to? Can't take here, he can't go here. So I don't think so. I think if I block, it's okay. If he pushes here, take, take. Then I can castle. But then the queen could take here. So maybe I should castle first. Yeah, let's just castle first. Oh wait, actually I messed up because I hung the pawn. So I did make a blunder actually. I think he's gonna see that. I don't think he's gonna miss that that pawn is hanging. But we'll see. I still like the potential threat I have over here though. But if I lose this pawn once he takes this, which he does here, I have a really bad pawn structure, so I need to make my attack worth something. Because if it goes to the endgame with this pawn structure, it could be pretty bad for me, I think. Okay, so I can go here. The bishop is covered for now. This pawn is hanging. If I go here, he takes. Here, he takes. I take. Or here, but if I go here, then he can go here. And then I don't think, well, actually no, if he goes there, then I take this. If he goes here though, if I go here, threatening to take the pawn. He tries to trade the queens. I can't take this pawn. That doesn't look super good. If he does that though, I think I'll just come back to here. Wait, no, I give up, if I go here, I give up the bishop. So let's go like this first and threaten it by this square. And if he takes here, then we take. And I'm not. This pawn is not as much of a concern, whereas this pawn is pretty important for his defense. So let's try that. And yeah, if he goes for this, I'll have to think about what I want to do there. Okay, no, he just guards this pawn, but that doesn't prevent me from taking here. But I think he missed that it's pinned. And if I take here, he takes here. What's the follow-up after that? I am double attacking this, but he has 2 defenders and one is his bishop. I also then have the ability to swing this rook over. So I think I'm just going to ignore this pawn for the most part. I don't want to leave the bishop hanging at all though. So let's go ahead and take here first. I don't think there's any reason to try to stop to protect this pawn. And now he doesn't have the option to try to trade his queen anymore, I don't think, because the pawn was the thing that would have supported it. If I go here, threatening this pawn, how does he defend that again? I guess, no, it is twice defending because the king is defending it, so I could do that though, and then maybe also get this over. Okay, the rook comes over right away. Could there be like a sacrifice mate here at all? Like here, check, over. Not quite. I come here, threatening mate on this square. Actually, no, because he'll have this escape square. Yeah, so I don't think I have anything there quite. Let's probably just double up the rooks. If he comes here with check, we have 2 defenders, so I guess we just would have to trade it off. This is covered. Actually, is this better? Because this does threaten mate. No, but then he just takes the rook, so never mind. Here, yeah. So let's double up. Wait, actually he has a tactic, because if he takes here, I take back, and then he can take this. Okay, let's just go here. And just threaten to take that way first. So that he doesn't have that tactic. And this is still defended, but then I do want to swing the rook over. And the rook, you know, this rook is not in trouble. If I can get this rook here and the queen here, then that will be a lot of pieces over here to attack his king. Okay, well he is threatening that. I can go here though, win another pawn, and then trade the queens off. But then he takes the bishop at the end. So maybe that's not good. But I probably could just, will just take this first. Queen needs to move. Take. If he takes, I take with check. And then he can't win the bishop, and plus that wouldn't be a good trade for him anyway, even if he could. So yeah, let's probably go ahead and take that. This is not an option. Or is it more threatening to swing the rook over first? I don't think so. There's not an immediate mate threat, so let's just take. Snag that pawn. Now I'm feeling a little bit better about after blundering my pawn. It's not quite as one-sided with the pawns. His are bad as well now, and I'm up 1. Actually, his pawn structure isn't that bad because these are all potentially good. Like for an endgame, he has this one isolated pawn, but I still have 2 sets of double pawns. So my pawn structure is definitely still worse. After the queen moves, to figure out what to do. I don't know where he's going to go, so that's going to be a big factor. And I'm still interested in maybe if the rook moves to get this check. So if I get this check, I guess he could just block. So maybe it's not that useful. But I want, if I could have some way to cover this escape square and force him into the corner and then use this rook, then I think we'd be able to get a checkmate maybe. Well, maybe I should also play this pawn forward. Threaten to take there. It's not protected right now. If he takes, then I get my bishop lined up with the king. I think he would try to avoid taking if I did that, but it seems like a decent idea. I really don't want my bishop being stuck here, where it can't really go anywhere. It can't go here. It is trapped, basically. It can't go here. It can only remain on the square it's on for now. If I can move the queen, then maybe I would bring it out this way. But this seems like a really nice square to have it if I could trade the pawns off. It would cover the escape square for the king. Oh yeah, and I didn't even notice till right now that this pawn is actually hanging after I took here. So his queen is under threat, and when the queen moves, this will be still under threat. Queen could probably go like here, but if he goes there, we might have a discovered attack on it. Although it's protected by the bishop, so it might just be a trade. But if we do trade it off, then maybe we snag the pawn at the end. I just have to still be aware of the bishop. The only defender of the bishop is the queen. He's taking his time. He's playing slower than I am, which is rare. I normally am playing slower than whichever opponent I'm facing. He's down to 3.5 minutes. So we might actually have the time advantage here and can pressure him a little on the clock. Okay, he does go for that move. So how does this work? If I go here, he just takes that back. Then I don't think I have anything. Can't take here because he's covering it. I could go here, double attack the pawn, and if the queen takes, then I take back with the bishop, and then we just like play that for an endgame. He will at some point be able to take this pawn. I don't know if I like that so much. I kind of want to use my queen to continue the attack here. So I could just go rook here right away, but then no, because if takes, takes, takes. So yeah, I have to fix this, prevent him from having any tactic here. Here, here. Do I have anything with that? I don't think so. Okay, my time's almost down to where same as him, so. What's the safest move? This. No, that gives this up. Well, once he takes the queen, then I can take back like that. But then the bishop hangs again, so. I think this is what I need to do, actually. And then we would take the queen trade here. If he took here first, then I would just come down. No, I would just be able to take his queen. I feel like I could be missing a tactic of some sort. Okay, let's just go here. Because I want to try to have the time advantage if I can. Okay, so he's going for defending the pawn. So in that case, also have to watch out here because he can get this trade. I'll just come up. Okay, I don't think it's a huge deal. In that case, though, I think since he defended his, I'll probably just defend my pawn as well. I have this check. Wait, actually, if I go check, he has to go over, unless he wants to block and give up a rook. Then I have a check here. What does he do then? I think he has to give up a rook, doesn't he? Okay, let's give the check. Because he only has these two escape squares. Oh no, if he comes down, then I check, then he can come out. No, he can't, because this is covered by this rook. Okay, so let's give the check here. Over. Oh no, it's not covered by the rook because it's blocked by the bishop. Okay, so he came down to the right square. This doesn't work. If I give the check, he comes out to here. I have a discovered attack, but once again, the discovered attack doesn't give me any target to attack with it. I could go here first, but then he can come back. I could also just take this first, which I think I probably should just do. Actually, yeah, that seems good, because then it does open up the rook. If he takes, we can win a pawn. If he checks, though, and then I come up, then my king might get forced over here. Check. Down here. Then I can win another pawn, actually, I think. So let's give the check first. I think that works. Do the discovered check here. Or if I do this, it's a double check. But he can just take it with the king. So let's do here. And then I think we can take this. And then, yeah, if he checks, we come up. He checks again. I think we can just go up here. Okay, I don't think I have a mate or anything. So I think I just... Actually, this is cut off. But I don't have a good way to check him. So let's just take... Now this could be a nice pass pawn for an endgame, even though my pawn structure is so bad. Okay, so I think we'll just take... Need to play quickly. Okay, if he wants to trade, I think that's fine. But I need to just support this pawn. Okay, yeah, he can still win that pawn. But I'm up +3. We'll be +2 here. Yeah, let's activate the king. There's no reason to go back. He can threaten both these pawns. I'm just going to start pushing right away, though. And I can take this pawn as well. I can take this pawn, and then I'm threatening a discovered. A check here. Push the pawn. Okay, he wants to threaten this one right away. He gives a check here. Once he takes there, he can win the next one. So let's go ahead and move the king up first. Actually, let's go king up first. Because I just would rather not get any checks. No, but if I go king up, he can check here. Then I move here. Actually, that's a little bit hard. Okay, let's go here. King up. He could take that one. I'm not worried about that one. Yeah, let's just take. We'll let him take. And then we'll come. Okay, I think here. I think I can just go for this right away. He wants to protect his pawn because this is his only chance to promote, I think. If I go here, go up, I go here, and then I just push like that. He can try to block with the king. I try to go here whenever I can. Let's push here first. Then here. Now we're double attacking his pawn as well. Okay, so we can take. Oh, interesting. So he goes for the pawn. I thought. Well, I guess that makes sense to not trade it. Let's go. Just focus on this pawn for the most part. Well, I mean, I could push this one. I think I'll push this one actually to block his. Okay, no, let's just go here. Let's focus on this one. Let's go here. Give this check. Okay, I'm gonna go here. The rook is under threat, so he can't take the pawn. And then I think I'll go rook here to do the same idea, but over this way. Okay. Go back down, he just keeps checking. That could be annoying. Oh wait, no, he could just take this anyway. But if I get this trade, I think I'll be up a pawn. But not with, like, I'll be up a pawn, but with this weird just double pawn structure, so it might be hard to actually convert that to a win. Let's see if we can, though. Let's go like this. Push this one now. I'm a little bit further across the board than him with my king. These two pawns are like the same distance. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go here. Oh wait, actually, you know what? I messed up with that. I should have just gone one square instead of two. Okay, I think I have to go. Okay, he can't come into this square. For him to come down, if I go over this way, he comes down. No, he comes down. He has to go pretty far to try to eat my pawns because these squares are covered. So I'm going to attempt to go this way and see what happens. He has opposition on me, which he seems to know. If I had pushed this first and then pushed again, I would have been able to get opposition on him. But I guess I blundered that. Let's... Is there any other way to... Do I need to just take a draw going back and forth, or is there any way to go down and then around or something? I might just have to take a draw. But yeah, I think I blundered that. I should have just played for a3, a4. Okay, no, he's going for the win here. Let's see what happens. Okay, he's going to promote on this dark square, so I want to get not where he's going to promote on. So let's go here. I think I'm winning this, right? Or is it... I think we promote at the same time, but I have an extra pawn. No, I promote first, but, you know, it's same time because he's right after. Just check. If he goes over here to skewer, I don't think he'll fall for that. And he'll lose his queen if he goes there. Let's just give a couple checks real quick and see if we have a way to force the trade, the queen trade. Check. Let's give check here. Can't quite. Let's give another check. Once he starts checking me, it's gonna get annoying though. Once I try to push the pawn and stuff. Can't quite force anything here. I need to be able to block his checks with my queen ideally. If he comes here, come here, he can come there. So I think I'll start pushing my pawn now, but if I push it here, he checks here, I come over, he can check here, I can block it, so I think I'll be okay. Might just be a lot of checks though. As long as the queen is close by, I should be able to keep blocking it. And I gotta keep looking for any forced queen trade, which, if this pawn weren't here, I would, no, I wouldn't quite have it. Okay, let's push. Right, we get check. Go, do I want to go over, or do I want to block? I think block. Let's block. I don't have a lot of experience in this type of like up one pawn, queen endgame, so I don't know exactly how to like convert it to a win, but I mean I know it must be winning, because once we can get a queen trade and get the pawn across, then his king is way back here, we should be fine. Only thing to avoid is a perpetual check, or somehow blundering the queen. Or blundering the pawn. That's actually pretty important as well. Okay, let's just go here again. Just block again. We should have a way. I might if he checks here again, I might have to go over. I guess I do need to go over because I can't just take a draw like that. Yes, checks here, block. But there's probably like a really clean way to just convert this quickly, but yeah, I don't know how to do it exactly. Okay, I think going up now is probably a good idea. Can make a little bit of progress here. As long as I'm not going to lose the pawn. If he goes here, go here. And if I can get my king to the corner, then he won't have these corner checks at all. So I think here, if I go here, does he have... No, I don't think he has a way to win the pawn. I don't know. Queens are hard though because there's so many squares they can go to. It's so easy to lose track if there is a dangerous one. I need to go back. If I go back, okay, let's do this first. At some point, he's not going to have a check, I think. I really want to get my pawn one square further, though. Because it's one square away, I have to be really careful about any kind of fork on the king and the pawn if it's not covered by the queen. Oh wait, now I can go up again. So that's good. So now he doesn't have any checks here, he doesn't have this check. He doesn't have any no, he does have this check. Yeah. If I go here and he goes here, the pawn's still covered by the queen. I'll have to go up like this, though. Okay, I don't have to actually go up like that. I think I'll go up like this. Pawn's covered by the queen. And then I'm not having to get in the way of the pawn. This might take a long time, though. He still has this check, but I think that's it. Or this one. Okay. I push the pawn, I think I'm fine. I have check there, but yeah, let's just push the pawn. But we're inching across the board very slowly. This video might be kind of boring, but hopefully we can at least make it work. We push again, have this check, but then he takes. So now he's double attacking it, but I think I can bring my king down. Can't give a check. Yeah, I think it's king down. He has that check. We go. We can block, right? Because it's block. Take. Wait, no, I can't take back because it's. Yeah, we have to go up. This is still covered. Hope I don't mess this up, but I don't know how to properly convert these, so I definitely could mess it up. I've been learning more about in-games, but I haven't learned queen in-games at all. I've just been learning some of the basics, like opposition and zug swing, and if that's how you pronounce it, like all that stuff. Here we get another check. I think probably just go here. Make room to push the pawn again if we can. Now he just has this check. Okay, and I think I'll go. Do I want to go down? If I go down, I don't think. No, he does still have one check. I think I'll go up here. Wait, no, because then if take, I think I would lose the pawn. So let me go down. Okay, then let's go to the side here for now. Now I have potentially this check. Oh wait, no, he's gonna be able to get the pawn. Yeah, I messed up. Because he could take the pawn now. No, it's just draw. Dang. Yeah, I played pretty bad that game, I think. I didn't feel like I was playing my best. Let's go ahead and check the game review and see. Particularly, I want to see what I should have done at the end game. Actually, no, we both had good accuracy. I'm almost kind of surprised because I felt like I would have had worse accuracy. He has a bunch of misses. He had very slightly higher accuracy. We basically had the same 86.2, 87.0, 1800, and 1850 game rating. That was a long game, but yeah, let me see. There was that one point that I blundered the pawn early on, so that was a big mistake, and then what else? There was another big mistake I had later on, I think. Oh, it wanted me to take first. Oh yeah, wait. No, because he has two attackers, right? Or two defenders on here. It wants me to go take here, queen here right away. Because then the knight, it's just mate if the knight tries to move or anything. Okay, well that's... I don't think I would have seen that. And that's a fork on... Well, this knight I was already going to take anyway, but... What does he play? He has to play here to make an escape square, I guess. Here. And then we're winning. It's only up +1 actually there, but... But instead, that was inaccurate to take back with the pawn first. This was inaccurate. It wanted, yeah, I should have played this. I didn't play this, and then this is the pawn that I hung. And if I had this pawn, it would have made the endgame so much easier because I wouldn't have had a messed up pawn structure. And his rooks wouldn't have been able to infiltrate the way that they did and then eat up a few pawns. So that small mistake of hanging the pawn later on definitely, I think, caused me to lose the endgame. Actually, you know what? The endgame was drawn. I'm looking at the eval bar. It was drawn the whole time. I thought I was winning. That's interesting, though. I thought that if I have an extra pawn that there's a way to force a win, but apparently not. That was a mistake. Because he can win the pawn. Yeah, because I drop back. And the pawn's wait, no, the pawn's not unprotected because the king's still here. What did it want him to do? Oh, it wants him to fork this pawn and the queen. I kind of just forgot about this pawn. I wasn't even paying attention to it. But yeah, he could have won it there. That was a mistake because there I just hung the pawn. And now he has a plus, here's a minus 1.74 advantage. Yeah, he should have tried to trade the queen. That's what I thought he would go for. Instead, he left the pawn hanging. Since this was pin, he didn't see the pin there. That was a mistake. It wanted the rook over first. Yeah, I was not sure for a while. I was trying to figure out when to bring this rook over. He wants him to sack. Check. Down. Here. Push the pawn. Oh. And then do we... Oh, we come here. Take. Dang, yeah, I could have played this attack so much better. I think. Actually, wait, no, because we did give up the bishop for this. And it hasn't led to a mate here yet. Let me see what happens, actually. Oh, it says it's the way to win a queen. So there's a way to win a queen here shortly. Let's see, here. Oh yeah, and then we're double attacking that rook. He goes down. Here, and then what if the queen just... Oh, is the queen... Oh, it is trapped, isn't it? Yeah, all these squares are covered. So the queen's totally trapped here. So this attack had a lot of potential, and I knew it did have a lot of potential, I think, ever since he opened the rook up early on. And I think he might have made one or two other small like inaccuracies that led to this potential attack over here. I think the fact that he castled really early also, after opening up the rook here, was dangerous for him. But I quite couldn't figure out how to convert this attack into something more useful. So we only ended up like getting a pawn or two out of it. It did want me to sack here. I think I thought about that for a second, but I didn't see the point of it because it didn't allow me to even get a check here or anything. It just wants this pawn. And then we're equal material. And then I get this pawn. So I'm up a pawn. But then he can take this pawn if he wants it as well. So I never had a big advantage. Got the queen trade, which I think... Yeah, I mean, I thought about this one for a while, and I thought I kind of needed to play this, but yeah, it wanted me to just sack that. Instead, we got the queen trade, bishop takes back. That was his miss. It wanted him to just steal the free pawn instead of trying to protect this one. I had the check, which I got excited for a second because I almost thought that this was a mate, but the fact that the bishop actually blocks the rook here prevented it from being a mate. Otherwise, I think it was one. But then I had that move, which was nice. Able to win another pawn here, and then now it felt pretty good. I felt like I had a nice advantage. Let me see where I lost it, because by the very end, the eval bar is showing that we were drawn for a long time, but I got to see where I messed up my advantage. Because here I still have a nice advantage. Everything was good here. I'm pushing the pawn. That was good. It wasn't great, but we're still looking good. It wanted me to threaten both these pawns right off the bat. It actually wanted me to give up this pawn and just push this one. Don't know why. It doesn't... I mean, this pawn's so advanced, it seems like I should just focus on protecting it. I guess, let me see. What if he just takes this pawn? Then I push this one again. Then he takes this one. Then I take that one. But this pawn is behind a... It's not a pass pawn, so... It wants me to push this pawn and protect this pawn that's not a pass pawn, instead of just saving the one that was a pass pawn, so I don't quite understand it. So let's go back to where we were. I was trying to push the one that is a pass pawn here. That was inaccurate to take. It preferred... What did it prefer? It preferred pushing this pawn. Then he takes here, and then I guess I push the other one, and then he can't threaten this pawn from this square because the king covers it. He could come behind it. But then if I move the king, it's protected. So I guess I could have put more effort into protecting these pawns, because I have a +4 advantage here. So I actually, although on the eval it's only plus 2.5, but I had a nice advantage. I did start kind of just giving these pawns up on the assumption that I would be able to get this one to the end. But I maybe should have put a little more defense into those pawns, or for those pawns. That was a mistake. It still wanted me to threaten his pawns, which I was not really doing at all. That was a miss because of this. So here, we trade everything off, and this is a winning endgame. So now I need to see where I messed up. Oh yeah, I think I know where it was. It was that I played a4 instead of a3. I think that was what made it drawing. I think that's probably all it came down to. Let's see though. Okay, yeah, that was it. That's all it was. And I didn't really think much about it, because in my mind, I thought I still had more moves, but I only had one more move, but he had the move. I think, in my mind, I thought I'll play a5 next, but he had a5, so then I don't have a move. So he was able to hold the opposition because he played the last pawn move, so then one of us has to move our king. And whoever moves their king, when the kings are standing off, loses opposition, and then because I'm winning with the pawns, or I would be winning materially, but he has opposition, there's no way for me to like get in and advance the game. So that was all it took. So I should have gone here. He goes here, and then I go here. I have opposition. And then that's going to be, this would have been, I think, pretty easy to convert it. He goes here, because I should be winning the pawn race here, I think, right? Or is it still equal? Do we still queen at the same time? I need to see this, actually. No, because his king's in front. And he was on the checking square. Oh, no, he wasn't. It's not the same diagonal. Why does it want him to move his king in front instead of going here? I guess it doesn't matter because I'm winning the pawn race either way. So then he's never going to get to promote. Okay, so that was the main mistake, I think, of the game, was failing to hold opposition with that pawn move. That was really important. And I didn't really think about that when I played that one right away. I should have taken a second to think about it. But I just had that assumption in my mind that I still had another move, even though it was his move. And then let's see, yeah. I thought he was going to keep shuffling back and forth and go for the draw, but then he did make the run for the pawn over here. And then we promoted at the same time. And then I thought that I was able to win this. I thought the eval would be in white's favor, but it's actually drawn. I wonder if the pawn was already at the end of the board. If it would have been, I think it would have been winning if the pawn was near the end, but maybe because it was so close to the start, that's why it was drawn. Okay. So Yeah, I can't blunder this kind of... these are just called waiting moves, I think. When you're trying to force your opponent to move their king, and you play waiting moves with your pawns, and then you try to get it back to his turn, and then he has to move his king, and then you can infiltrate. And I just mistimed the waiting move, so that's why we ended up getting a draw. So that was the biggest mistake of the game, and then I think also hanging that pawn earlier was a pretty big mistake. I don't remember, was there one more? I think those were the main ones. And then maybe I should have pushed the pawns a little bit more going into the early part of the endgame, as well as attacking his pawns on his 7th rank. Try to clear those out. I kind of really was focused on pushing my pass pawn first, but I guess there wasn't a need to, because I can attack his first and still probably be able to protect mine when it gets attacked. So that would have been a better plan. But yeah, that was an instructive game, I think. And this has been day 64, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on day 65.